Not your keys, not your coins. Basically means that if you don't have control over your private keys of your crypto wallet, then you don't truly own that crypto. And nothing makes it more evident than when you're using central exchanges, and your central exchange, and one of the biggest names you might, if you're here in stateside, is Coinbase. They're publicly traded. I've been using Coinbase for years, since like 2018, right? 2018, 2019. Back then, when it was like the rules were not as stringent as it is now. It's a completely different world. Things just kept getting harder and harder to use. I'm talking from the standpoint, from the perspective of the user. So regulatory bodies, SEC, the one that Gary Gensler, that guy, the cuckoo guy, was running for a while, he's gonna be stepping down next in January. Anyway, he made it so that they were basically destroying on ramps and off ramps options, different alternatives for retailers to use. They were forcing us and pigeonholing us in the name of protecting. It's always, yeah, it's for your protection. Uh, but then it's like somehow I'm not able to make any money. I can't participate. I still lose my crypto to scams, and you're not protecting. So, like, what protection are you even protecting? They're funneling us into these exchanges that have very high, very, very high fees. Coinbase has very high fees. And for every transaction, they make money on the spread. They make money when you log in. They make money when you breathe. They constantly make money. These middlemen constantly rip retailers off, and yet these agencies like SEC say they're trying to protect you. I don't understand it. Anyway, the downside to using exchanges, centralized exchanges, is that you don't own the asset. You're at their discretion, and they can block you whenever they feel like. And when they do, for whatever reason, you can, like, you can lose your money. And even the worst part is when they file bankruptcy. Like the one with Celsius. I lost money with Celsius. Celsius with Alex McKinsey or whatever his name was. He went around all of YouTube talking about how he's like this, rebel Robin Hood type of guy, trying to. He's on the side of the retailers, trying to protect us from the banks. The man. And then he turns out to be like a big old scam artist. He was busy like stacking, stashing away all our money, and then finally then file bankruptcy, and then people lost their money, whether it's FTX with Sam Bankman-Fried, or you know dating back to Mangox of 2014, and all the exchanges that collapsed within the past 4 years. If you don't use the alternative, which is decentralized exchanges like Unicorn, like Pancake, like the YDX. There's a few of them. You know, Phantom is like the one that I really like because it's Solana based, and a lot of like the really really cool tokens on Solana. Okay, I'm not giving you financial advice, okay, but what I'm trying to tell you here is, well, the video, the conversation I'm going to show you on X is a conversation with Levels IO. I follow Peter Level. He's a Dutchman, a coder. He's like one of those operators that's constantly like pushing out products. If you look at his what he has been able to achieve, is really really cool. He was recently on Lex Friedman. I listened to Lex Friedman, and if you haven't watched that episode, he shares. That's where you get to know who he is. I'm not going to tell you who he is, but watch Peter Levels on Lex Friedman. So I'm on X, like I usually am, and I follow this guy, and he shares this content here. Look, apparently he's having problem with Coinbase. He shares a picture of his of blocked. Your account is currently restricted. Coinbase will review your account internally and will send an email once our review is complete for further information. And they do this thing where there is always vague. I find out later that that is they're trying to hedge their risk litigation wise. that lawyers tell them to do this lawyer speak. And it's so annoying from the retailer's perspective because at least tell me what I did wrong so I can stand a chance. They don't even give you a chance. It's like, they block you. And so he tagged Brian Armstrong, who's like the head honcho over there at Coinbase. Let's watch their conversation. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'll tell you about it anyway. So, uh, okay, it's this one. Look at this guy's achievements. Photoai.com, 120K MRR, interiorAI.com, 38K MRR, remoteok.com, 37K MRR, nomads.com, 35K MRR, levelsio.com, 23K MRR. It's just impressive, yo. I'm like, this AI thing is, they're talking about it is going to like wipe away jobs. No, it's going to make the ones who are already killing it like 10x, right? Like a software developer like this who pushes out products, it just makes his job way easier, and he's just like pumping out the products. So yeah, if you already have a skill, AI will only just make you better and more efficient. Don't worry about it replacing you. Just focus on being good at your skill, and AI will make you 10x what you could do by yourself. So he tagged Brian Armstrong. Must be nice to be this famous. You can get the main guy to respond to your ex post. Sorry for the annoying experience. Looks like the team is reviewing and will report back shortly. You're right, by the way. So he goes into this monologue about everything he thinks we need to know about centralized exchanges. That they have to follow all kinds of financial regulations, and often not just trying to keep customers happy, they also have to keep regulators happy, and this is usually comes into conflict. And that's why industry regulated industries like them have low NPS scores. I don't know what NPS is, maybe like customer satisfaction or whatever. It's all in the name of consumer protection, but we all know how that goes. Of course, centralized exchanges have many other benefits like ensuring people don't lose their coins, acting as on ramps, etc. Huh? That's all you got for benefits, bro? You gotta have more than that to sell centralized exchanges, because so far right now, I'm not even seeing any benefit to centralized exchanges. Decentralized exchanges is where it's at, because one, they don't ask for KYC. They don't need to know who you are. It's all like anonymous. You connect your private wallet with your private key. You hook it up to like an exchange like Phantom, and you can trade crypto. That's the whole point of crypto to begin with. It's supposed to be seamless, peer to peer. The market determines the price. But these centralized exchanges, just like banks, they're the middlemen, and they take too much money. There's so much. Okay. Luckily, we have an amazing self custodial wallet, the Coinbase wallet, also, if you prefer that route. And account recovery mechanisms are getting better and better there, like the smart wallet tech we recently shipped. As more and more transactions go from fiat to crypto, self custodial wallets will be primary app for many folks. So both serve an important function, and we'll keep improving both. Again, sorry for the inconvenience, should be resolved soon. This is the new feature of social media slash AI slash tech getting to this mainstream point that I like. It's exposing these industries. It's just making them come out and talk to us. Back in the day, it used to be like a company like, can you imagine Bank of America CEO or JP Morgan CEO, the outspoken one, Jamie Dimon, whatever his name is. Can you imagine if he's like having conversations directly with people? These people, they hide behind the cloak of mystery and cloak of power that they which allows them to commit all kinds of atrocities, and no one can hold them accountable. But they're not gonna survive long like that, unless if they're already like entrenched powers like banks. Banks are not going anywhere. But If you're a startup, if you're a new company, like a new age company, you have to engage with your users. We're going to ask questions and you better come up with answers. You know what I mean? That's it. So I like this conversation because it's built confidence in the users, knowing that Brian Armstrong is willing to be this transparent and explain that, look, we know all the problems with central exchanges, but you have an option, with Coinbase wallet. You can hop on there. They even have Base. I think Base is their own decentralized exchange. You can hop on there and you can trade without them knowing what you're doing. So that's optional for the rest of the masses, because it's not everybody who's technically inclined to go into decentralized exchange. There's a little bit of a learning curve there. There are people who just they can't handle that level of technology, and that's where centralized exchange come in. They're serving a purpose. Nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you're capable of handling that level of tech, then explore these other decentralized exchanges. It's less fees, and you have self custody of your asset. You know, but it also has inherent risk, because if you lose your private keys, you lose your asset too. So there's responsibility. There's pros and cons to either one of them. You just need to study and see what works for you. That's just what I wanted to talk to you about. That I've been with Coinbase for a while. I've tried all these different exchanges over the years, and it's been a bumpy road. I can tell you that. I've made money, I've lost money. At the same time, I don't feel bad about it. It's a journey. Money comes and goes. It's ultimately what's your quality of life? What are you getting out of this whole experience? That's what